Sometimes, a good trip isn't measured by the odometer. We're taught to value the destination, or total mileage, but the distance can often be a shallow metric. The real journey is found in the layer of the world you peel back as the hum of the city fades into the vibration of the bars and the blur of the rearview mirror. Today, I'm heading into a rugged, often unforgiving stretch of state forest and national park that bridges the gap between Marysville and Lake Eildon. This is a landscape that demands respect, where the geography changes as quickly as the weather. I'm out here for two reasons. The first, to get lost in the ridgelines and valleys that make this area iconic. And the second, to see if the newest additions to my kit can handle the reality of the bush. I finally got the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 mounted to the helmet. I want to see how that Leica lens and AI chip handle the harsh flickering light and bone-shaking vibrations of the trail. In the pannier, I've made some radical changes. I've swapped out my trusted Kathmandu Moto tent for a minimalistic Onewind hiking setup. In a world where we are told that bigger is often better, I'm looking to see if I can actually do more with less, if shedding weight means gaining more freedom. Riding solo changes the way you look at the track. You become hyper-aware of your surroundings. Every loose rock, every hidden washout, every fallen branch carries more weight when there's no one behind you to help you pick up the bike. You find a rhythm you learn to trust, a silent dialogue between you, the bike, and the earth. To leave the valley floor, I'm pointing the front tire towards the ridges. The terrain shifts instantly. We move from the soft damp loam of the river to the hard packed clay of the height. As I climb, the trees thin out and the world opens up. You get these incredible blue distance views stretching out towards Eildon, layer upon layer of mountain ranges fading into the haze. This has been the perfect proving ground for the Ace Pro 2. Transitioning from the bright mountain peaks into the deep, dark fern gullies usually doesn't do wonders for action cam footage. I'm currently deep in the trial and error phase with that camera and DJI Mic 2, finding that elusive sweet spot for an environment that chaotic, where you have high frequency vibration and constantly shifting light, is always a challenge. While I'm taking in the view, I'm still thinking about the bike I didn't bring. My initial plan for this trip was to take the DRZ. I spent the better part of a week doing routine maintenance on the old girl, ticking off those jobs I'd been putting off for far too long. Stem bearings, swing arm bearings, and linkage bearings. They've all been tended to. I even refreshed the brakes and rejetted the carburetor with a JD jetting kit. But I ran out of time and didn't get to finish fine-tuning before I had to leave. I'm still torn between a 162 and a 165 main jet. I've got a film job coming up in January where the DRZ is my primary tool, so I need to get that thing dialed in for the high country soon. But for now, the 450 MT is the one doing the work. I decided to take a few of the lesser known spurs off the main ridge. My aim this afternoon is to explore a few tracks while looping back southwestbound towards Big River Road. This will be the final outing for this rear tire. The Midas Enduro Trail XT Plus I've been running is officially at the end of its life. Looking back, I'm genuinely impressed with how it held up. I've managed to squeeze just about 6,000 kilometers out of it, which, considering the terrain I've been riding on, is a hell of an innings. To put it in perspective, that's significantly more mileage I ever got out of the Moto's Rousey on the same terrain. It's rare to find a tire that balances grip and longevity this well, but this one has certainly earned its retirement. These are the tracks where the road becomes a suggestion. High-stakes games of momentum, balance, and threading the needle through the forest debris. The 450 MT is performing beautifully, but in this tight technical stuff, you do start to feel its mass. I'll admit, I didn't expect the tracks to get this narrow or this choked up with regrowth. It's the kind of riding that has you gasping for air inside the helmet, wrestling the bars as the bike claws for traction. It's exhausting and sweaty work, but there's a primal satisfaction about it. It's easily some of the most fun you can have on two wheels. By the time I pop out near Big River Road, the sun is starting to dip. It's time to find a home for the night. I found a little pocket of flat ground by the river. There's something special about Riverside Camp. The white noise of the water is a guaranteed rest for the mind. And now for the moment of truth, the Onewind tent. First impressions? It's incredibly light, coming in at just 850 grams. When you're packing a bike, every gram is an investment, and this is a fraction of the bulk of my old setup. Since it's a minimalistic hiking tent, it's designed to be pitched with trekking poles, which I do not carry. Instead, an old tripod donated its legs to complete the setup. It's an intuitive, simple pitch. You can set it up with trekking poles, fling it from a ridgeline, or even tether it between the bike and a tree. For a one-man tent, it feels surprisingly spacious, taller and wider than the Kathmandu Moto. As the stars start to punch through the canopy, I'm reminded why these solo trips are so vital. They reset the clock. Morning arrive with a bit of a reality check. I'm happy with the new tent, but as a newcomer to single wall design, the condensation on the inner wall was a surprise. A heavy fog rolled in early, trapping moisture inside, I think. It's a trade-off for the weight, I guess. A small price to pay for the lightest setup on the trails. If you've been thinking about heading into the mountains by yourself, don't overthink it. Hike the bike, pick a track, and just go. The silence is waiting for you. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.